today I'm visiting my friend Barbara at the Whitehouse General Store. So come on, let's go.
So also welcome to my deli store. Well, Whitehouse General Store, which is now, I don't like the word deli for this. I know it's a deli because we sell sandwiches and, you know, things like that. But for a general store, I don't like the word deli, even though that's what people call us. So I actually kind of say more like cafe. Deli is like more of a New York word. Like I'm going to the, like the deli. Like that would be something you would see in Brooklyn or like that atmosphere.
Yeah.
I find that in the country, it's just not appropriate.
The difference in my mind of a deli and a cafe would be a deli, you don't really want to stay very long. You go in to get your food and you head out. Whereas a cafe, there's seating, which you have, front porch, inside, so cute. You want to stay, linger, get a coffee.
And I can't say I'm a general store because I'm really not a general store anymore. Like a general store is like the Woodland General Store where you went in and it had beautiful, you know, things for sale that you would take home, like, you know, goods and stuff like that, which doesn't work here in this town anymore. So I'm a cafe.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to change the name.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, well, the name, it's been the Whitehouse General Store since 1923, which is over 100 years. And I just feel that I didn't want to change the historic part of something so historic in the town. I didn't want it to be like Barb's Deli. I just didn't feel like that would be appropriate. I just wanted to keep it what it was.
Yeah.
So,
what else can you tell us about the history? I know you have some photos.
So I went to the library and I looked in the archival section I've done this before, but I never had any information, so I thought I'd try it again. And I tried to find some pictures of what it actually looked like back in 1923 when it did open. So I did find this cute picture. It's so cute. Actually, when I was reading about the history of Whitehouse Station and the deli, the cafe, this road is Old Highway 28, and this actually was the main road, and this is where everybody came, because this actually was a post office, which this still is a post office, and at the general store. It was reversed though, and this was the post office.
Okay.
And then where the post office is, that would be the general store.
Post office?
So we're connected.
Okay.
So you can't see it from here. You'll see it from Route 22.
Oh, okay.
They're on the other side of us, but we're connected. There's a door. You walk right through the door, and you go right into the post office. Or if you walk along the side of the building, you go to the post office, and everything in that post office is still original. So this was a post office general store, and this was the main highway. Route 22. Actually, I have a picture here. If you can see, this. Route 22 never existed. This was old Route 28. That was the main road, and this is the dirt road of what it was.
Wow. So what is this building that we're looking at?
Okay, so this building right here is actually, if you go across the street, next to, this is the East Whitehouse Firehouse, which was back in 1923. That was there. That was the firehouse. So next to it is the United Methodist Church, which is still there, and that's what you're looking at. This is the church.
Okay.
And then this is like the house in between. You'll see there's a house that would be in between the firehouse and the church, which is right there.
Gotcha.
So that's what this picture is.
Okay, so the firehouse would be right around here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So back in the day, this was it. Like, this was the main road. Everything was happening here. It's a very historical town, actually. So let me start from just really quickly start from the end of the street. So at the end of the street, you'll see there's a building called Caldwell Banker. That wasn't a Caldwell Banker. That's actually where George Washington used to stay.
Whoa.
In that building. It was actually like a building where he would stay with his soldiers.
Wow.
So if you go down just a little bit from Caldwell Banker, there's a Quick Check. And then there's a road that goes back, and that is Reddington Farms. And it's really sad because as I'm talking to you about these things, none of these things are here anymore, except for me. Just me. Nothing else. The firehouse is closed, and the church, and the Methodist church is still around. Everything else is gone. So then you go back, and then there was the Durling Farm, and that was where all the milling would take place. And I mean, everything would come here to the general store. All the grains and everything, and the milk and everything would come from there. It's huge. If you get a chance on your way home, drive back. It is so beautiful, and there's so much back there, and you would understand what I'm talking about. But unfortunately now, this day and age, it's gone. It's all gone. The properties and stuff are still there, but it's not functioning anymore.
Right.
So that's what that was. The United Methodist Church, which is what I showed you there, and that's where everybody here would go to church, and look, that's still open, luckily. And then this would be the firehouse, and that firehouse is closed down because it's just a town. I don't know, there's not a lot of fires, thankfully, but whatever the situation, that's it. And then this was a general store. So if you see here in the picture of the general store, this was the original picture. So why is it so small? Because this part, my dining room, didn't exist. That was just built. That was built on as you had to progress through the years. You know, as you had to progress through the years, and people weren't using general stores anymore, it had to become something else. These signs here is like you could get it's just like green stamps, like food stamps. How you have food stamps now? Right. So back then it was green stamps. That's what it was called, green stamps. So you would use.
And then this sign, do you know what that says?
Yeah, that says it says steaks. So apparently they sold. They must have sold like butchery kind of things, because it said right here. I know you can't see it, but it says steaks. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, they sold steaks too. They did everything. So apparently they did everything here, because actually this was the main road.
Right.
And like it was all dirt road, and they had all like horses and buggies, and you would bring it up. Actually, you could probably see in this picture like how they are. They're pushing the carts, and like these were like the milling carts, the tractors, everything.
How did you get to own the store?
This general store has been passed through different owners who have actually lived in Whitehouse Station. It has never been owned by anybody outside of Whitehouse Station. And it's not just because that's like the rule here. It just happened that way. You know, it's like, because, you know, once another owner was retiring, whatever, like it's just such a great store. People will be like, let me take it over. Right. And it's so funny because when I moved to Whitehouse Station 20 years ago, probably like 6 years after me living here, I didn't want to go back to corporate. My kids were getting ready to go to school full time, and I needed something to do, or I'd go nuts. And I've always wanted to own a food establishment. And then I came across the store, and I'm like, oh, I have to. And it was so weird because the owner was actually selling the store, and it just fit somehow.
And how did you know that he was selling the store?
I just walked in here to get a sandwich, and the lady who owned it, she was so nice, and we were just talking, and you know, I was like, oh, it's such a great store, and it's so cute. I didn't even know you were here. You're hidden, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, do you want it? And there was like a weird conversation. I'm like, why? And she's like, oh, it's for sale. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm actually just put it up for sale, because she was getting to retire and go do something. So I talked it over with my husband, and I figured this would be a good fit. It would be a good fit, one, because it was something I would be done where I could go home and be with my kids still, and I can incorporate my kids with the business. You know, so it was a win-win for both of us. And I mean, I'm not breaking the bank here, making $1 million, and it's like a career that, you know, it's a career, but it's not something you're paying your bills with. But it's something I love, and I just didn't want to see the store just go to, and you know, I wanted to keep it in the community and keep it, you know, nice.
You know, you're the third general store that I've interviewed, and 3 for 3, everyone says the same thing. We're not becoming millionaires based off of this.
I wish we were, but
it's a pursuit of passion.
It's a pursuit of passion.
There's something that you love about it, and you want to see it continue to exist, and you couldn't picture a town without it.
Yes.
You said you always wanted to own a restaurant, so where did that passion come from?
I don't know. I was in the hotel business. I did banquets for a while, and then the hotel I was working at, they changed owners, so I had to go do another career path, and I somehow got into finance. I got into the car business, and I was doing finance, and it was like a very corporate atmosphere, and yuck. I just was not. It just was not for me. I'm just not a structured kind of sit at my desk, socialization kind of person. So, and I find the food business as hard and as labor intensive and backbreaking as it is. It's fun, and it is more personal. So I was like, I have to get back into some kind of food business, and I didn't want to work for somebody at all. Like, I have my own recipes and my own stuff, like from my grandmother, or even my husband's, like, he's Italian and he has some great like recipes from his Sicilian background and all that, and I wanted to kind of bring that somewhere and do something with it. That's why I didn't want to go work for somebody else. I just wanted my own, and then that's how I got here.
What are some of your customers' favorite things on the menu?
We have our basic stuff, our Italian subs and basic sandwiches, but I try to incorporate stuff from, and I don't know why. I think in a previous life I was born in the 1700s. I like they always say, like, you don't know why you do certain things or why you navigate your certain things. I always feel like we have more lives than just this one, and that's for some reason. You don't know why you like it. Maybe you like it because somehow down the road you did it. What I do is I try to incorporate recipes, and I serve them here. Like actually this week I had a 19th century chocolate cake, and it was so good, and it was baked back in the 1800s. It was when they first discovered what flour was and baking soda was. They just figured out what all these things did, and they just actually figured out how to make them instead of, like, before that, when they were milling everything and it was grainy and stuff like that. So I had that. Actually, I had that on special this week, and that just went. Like, everybody gets, they love when I do that stuff. So that just went. That cake went in 5 minutes today.
Wow.
So every week I try to do something different. Like I had chicken and dumplings last week, which is like an old style kind of thing. So I try to do stuff like that. When I do things like that, they sell out. So we have different specials we do every day. I have 7 different specials we do every day, and I change them every day.
Wow.
Yes. So every day.
That's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. But it's like, I find that when I first started, I was leaving the same specials on for like 2 or 3 days, and I find people got bored.
Do you feel like you see the same customers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yes. Here at this store and in this town, 95% of my clientele are the same people every day.
Wow.
Every day. And I love it, though, because I have like personal connections with them. Like, like I know about their families. I know about my families. They, like my kids, they're in their 19, one's 19, one's 21, but they've been coming to the store since they're like 4 years old. And when they see my kids, they're like, oh my God, is that the same kid that sat there and used to play with his little dinosaurs in color? And some of my customers used to sit in color with them, and it was great. But yeah, and it's even from when I bought the store 14 years ago, it's still the same people. It's still the same people.
And I imagine that some people might move away. But when they're back in town, they'll make sure that they come visit you.
They make sure they come visit. Yes, I have a couple. Actually, yesterday, one a gentleman, he was actually the president of Reddington Farms when it was open, and he retired, and he doesn't live close to here. He lives like maybe 40 minutes, but his mom lives here. So when he comes to take care of his mom, he always comes here. They always make sure they come here to say hi or have a sandwich. And yeah, it's very, I always call it my little Mayberry, which now I'm going to outdate myself again. It's like a little town like this. And yeah, same people in and out every day. Everybody knew everything about everybody. And like even in the dining room, like you'll see my customers, they all got to know each other. And when they all sit in the dining room, they all talk. And they're people that never knew each other before.
Right.
They just all met from coming here. And I like that. I like that homey feeling, and, kidding around with people and knowing people, and yeah.
What are some of the things that you do for marketing to help get people to recognize that you do exist on this side of the street?
Well, all I have is, if you drove down 22, you'll notice a giant sign that just says deli. It's like so big, it just says deli on it. And I noticed that captures everybody's attention, so they'll pull in and then they'll be like, oh, you're a general store. And so I have that. I have Facebook page. I just made a TikTok page. So I'm older, so I'm learning like I told you the other day, I still can't comprehend the internet, but I'm learning it because I feel like with this generation and a lot of the younger generation that are now getting jobs in these corporations here, that I think that's the only way they'll find me. That's good. And I understand because that's their, what they're used to. So I have to kind of get
That's
creative
really smart
with that. It's hard because I have to actually hire a marketing person because I don't have time to post a video or things every day. I wish I did, but I don't. So I am actually looking into trying to find somebody who will maybe do that for me every day and see if that helps.
I think it'll go so far. It'll go so far.
I guess. I don't know.
What's a memory you'll never forget about this place?
Oh, memory, good or bad?
Good or bad?
So the store is very old, and a lot of the electrical in the store is the same electrical, probably from 1923. So we had a fire. And it burned. Luckily, it was caught in time. It didn't burn the whole store down, but it did burn the side of the building over there down. And I don't know what happened. Like my windows blew out. Anyway, I had to close down for 2 weeks. And
what year was this?
It was like right before COVID, because I remember that the store was finally fixed and we were getting back up and running. And I'm like, great. And oh my, COVID hit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that's a whole other thing. But I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what else? But anyway, so we had the fire. And so I actually came here every day and sat on the porch so that when people came, I could personally tell them, I'm going to be back. I was afraid. I was very afraid. People thought that we were not going to open again, and that was the end of us. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew, no, like, I'm going to be back in 2 weeks, just, and everything. So I did. I came here every day for 2 weeks and just sat. I brought my book and I sat here all day, and people were coming up and I told them, we'll be back. Please come back. And they're like, absolutely, we'll come back. And it was like so nice because like the whole community kind of gathered around. Like there was like a flooring company across the street that offered to give us free flooring, and like people were like dropping off stuff for us, and like even like just dishes and stuff that I lost, like people were bringing things like that. It was so nice.
Wow.
And even just to come, because they knew I was sitting here. Sometimes people would like get lunch from somewhere and sit here and talk to me, like just talk to me, because we always talk all the time. Or like, do you mind if we hang on the porch? Because the porch was still intact.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can stay here all day. So I have to say that when there is a tragedy or something bad in the community that happens, as much as sometimes I notice this community, we isolate ourselves. If something happens, everybody helps out. Everybody, no matter what or who you are, they really do try and help you out. And yeah, and like the day after when I finally opened, it was great. Everybody came, and even like the tip jar was full. They were just giving us money, and they were so glad that we were back. So it made me feel good, like people, what I'm doing is people like it, and they really, because like I said, I get in my head a lot, and I'm like, no, nobody's gonna like what I make or blah. I always think that all the time. I really shouldn't, but it's just always like that. And then when they came, I'm like, well, maybe they do like me. And my work was like, well, yeah, like what is wrong with you? Like you're not getting it. And I'm like, no, I'm still not getting it. But so I found like, even though we had the fire and I was very sad, the good part was about that my customers, they love us. I should say it's not they love me, it's us. It's not just me. Like I wouldn't be able to do this without the people I have working for me, who have been working for me since one guy has been with me since I opened, and I have 2 ladies here that have been with me for about 8 years, and we get along, we all stick together, and that's what makes it work. Yeah, it's a quiet town, but it's a caring town. So that's why I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be able to stay here for as long as I can. And COVID definitely hurt. COVID hurt. It definitely cut my business in half. I mean, we used to be a lot busier before COVID, but we're still here, and I've had reinvent. I'm still trying to find new ways to do business because I think I have to at this day and age. Always, but I still try and keep the same general store feel about it. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's my story.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share? Anything we didn't cover?
Just to come.
Just to come.
Just to come, please.
Come visit.
I know, please, if you're in the area, come visit. We do everything. We do catering. We have a beautiful dining room. We have porch seating you could sit at. When the fall comes, we have it's nice. That's nice. It's not nice yours now. It is nice, but in the fall, it's our favorite time of year. Like we have a lot. We have our dinners to go. We have our homemade soups to go. Everything we make here is homemade. Everything, even our salad dressings are all made from scratch. So yeah, in the fall when you come by, we have dinners and all those things ready for you. And yeah, so I know we're hidden, but you can Google us. Come on by. Yeah. Keep us here for another 100 years. Yeah, because I'm sure there's more people. I want to be able to pass this down to somebody else. So, yeah.
Maybe somebody who watched this video is
Yeah, I mean, I'm 60 years old, so I'm going to be retiring probably in like 7-8 years, And then
come on by and
have
a conversation and who knows what'll happen.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, well, thank you for your time. So this is our dining room. It's general, yes, it's very old time, but I also kind of had to update it and modernize it just a little bit, But I still try to keep it like a homey kind of feel. And everybody always says the same thing, like I feel like I'm eating in your kitchen. Like I try to keep like little knickknacks and stuff like that around just to still feel like home. These pictures back here are, I did not take pictures today, but they came with the store throughout the years. They're just pictures of different time periods of things in the town, like the train station, and then like one of the old milling cottages.
Yeah, when the fire happened.
So you could see here, like if they tried to, like this was all fine, but this is what got burned. This whole section here, and you can see the difference in the wood.
Yes.
This is where they redid the forest stores. They did a good job. Yeah, so it's
so not too much.
I guess what happened is something happened behind this wall, and it was like, and it's so funny because all day I kept saying, I'm like, smell that, smell that, and yeah, we kept smelling, and we couldn't figure out what the heck it was. Well, it was behind the wall, was on fire actually. Behind this wall was actually starting to be on fire all day, little by little.
Was it electrical or?
It was electrical. Yeah. What happened is it sparked some kind of insulation, whatever the insulation is. And the fire was in the wall. It took so long throughout the day for it to finally at night just ignite a hole over here. Luckily, there's an apartment upstairs, and they smelled smoke at night. And he looked out his window and saw the building on fire. Well, the firehouse was open then, so luckily they were open then. And they came right over the fire out. Yeah. So this picture was painted by a gentleman. He was a vet. Passed away a couple years ago at the age of 98. Used to come to the store on a horse and buggy with his family when he was young. And his name was Ray Speck. He was a staple in town, but unfortunately he's not here anymore. He was a great hiker there every Saturday. Same thing, every Saturday. The one lady that works for me, she makes all these little things. She made this out of an Amazon package. I know, right? What? You know the Amazon package you get with the paper package?
Oh,
she antiqued it. And she made this little envelope, and then she took fabric, and isn't it beautiful?
I love that she found a way to recycle things. I'm very interested in that.
I'll show you something else she made for me really quick. She made me this. So, like you get like big ketchup. The ketchup comes in like those big metal cans. So she always takes them home, and like, what are you doing with these cans? Well, this is what she's doing. She flattened it out, and then she painted it from the ketchup can, and she stenciled it, and she made me that. She's so crafty. I made the baskets on the window work, so even I make stuff. Yeah. So that's our story.
This little dog is so cute.
I know, isn't he cute? Well, this is my last piece of cake. I saved it so I can give it to you.
Stop it. Thank you so much.
There was one left, and I'm like, where does it come from?
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, so I always post the recipe. So this recipe is, like I said, it's the first chocolate cake that was made when people discovered or made flour with baking soda and all that stuff. And it wasn't called chocolate cake back then, it was called mahogany cake. So mahogany cake, even though it's a chocolate cake and that's what they call it, today mahogany cake is red velvet cake. So it really wasn't chocolate cake, it's red velvet cake. You won't see this cake again on my calendar for a couple months.
Okay. Because you rotate so much.
It'll rotate. Yeah, because everybody's like, oh, she's got mahogany cake again.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so it'll rotate. But anyway, so that's what I do. That's my little thing.
Very good.
Take home with you.
Here's the deli part of it.
Yes, it's a little empty now. It's Friday. Deliveries are. Oh yeah, the bell is original. I should say that, right? So like when they came. Oh yeah, so when you came to the store and you wanted to order whatever your flour, bell, then they would come and help you.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
I do remember that the people I bought it from told me that. That bell has been. That's what it's from. It's been around forever. So yeah, the bell comes to the store too, along with pictures. Yeah, this is our kitchen. It's pretty big.
Huge.
It is huge. Clean. I like that it's kind of open because, like, when we make sandwiches, everybody's on the counter, we'll just talk. Sometimes it's funny, like, if we're busy and people let me know we're busy, like, I'll scream, I'm like, Tom, you got to, like, come pick up your lunch. I can't get out there. And they're like, okay. Like, you know, it's very, like, we can do things like that with people. But yeah, I like that it's open and we can talk to everybody.
That's so nice. You got a little kitchenette sink.
Yeah, I got a sink, I got a grill, there's a fryer, there's old stove, dishes, and then this is our pantry area. Playing home. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but you know, where we do our dishes and stuff like that.
You know what? You think people aren't interested until 10, 15, 20 years later when the video still exists and they're like, wow, they used to do things like that back then.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, I have to say, compared to most kitchens, we have a pretty big kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing me back here.
You're welcome.
The Whitehouse General Store may be off the beaten path, but it's well worth the visit. A quiet street, beautiful front porch, and inside seating where you could have a slice of cake and some coffee and some good conversation. And she changes the specials every day. I think I might have to go multiple times in the same week just to see all the specials.